This is part number 27 of my preparation for NSE4 exam, Fortinet. This is about IPsec VPN setting. IPsec SA's security associations periodically renegotiated to improve security. It depends on the lifetime settings configured on Phase 2 proposal. IPsec certificate associations SAs based on the numbers of seconds, so it's time based on number of kilobytes, volume based, or both, whichever expires first. Key lifetime setting threshold does not have to match the tunnel to come up. There is auto-negotiate, and it prevents disruption caused by SA's renegotiation. Autokey keep alive keeps the tunnel up. When IPsec SA's security associations expire, then FortiGate needs to negotiate new security associations to continue sending and receiving traffic over IPsec tunnel. Technically, FortiGate deletes the expired security associations from the respective Phase 2 selectors and installs new ones. If IPsec renegotiations takes too much time, then FortiGate might drop interesting traffic because of its absence of the active SAs. To prevent this, you can enable auto negotiate. Then, when you do this, FortiGate not only negotiates new security associations before the current security associations expire, but also starts using new security associations right away. This prevents traffic disruption by IPsec SA renegotiations. Another benefit of enabling auto-negotiate is that the tunnel comes up and stays up automatically, even when there is no interesting traffic. When you enable Autokey keep alive and keep auto negotiate disabled, the tunnel does not come up automatically unless there is an interesting traffic. However, after the tunnel is up, it stays that way because FortiGate periodically sends keep alive packets over the tunnel. Note that when you enable auto-negotiate, autokey keep alive is implicitly enabled. IPsec hardware offloading. On some FortiGate models, you can offload IPsec encryption and decryption to hardware. The algorithms that are supported depend on the NP network processing unit. Models or for example processor types which are present on the FortiGate. And for the list of supported encryption algorithms and for the list of uh, uh, NP processors, you can go to docs.fortinet.com. By default, hardware offloading is enabled for the supported algorithms. Thus, there are commands that you can use to disable hardware offloading per tunnel, if necessary. The process is you can use command line interface and type config VPN IPsec phase 1 interface edit to remote set NPU offload disable next end. Which type of VPN peer can initiate VPN tunnel? Answer is dial-up client. Question 2. On which phase do you configure algorithms that used for traffic encryption? In phase 2. Question 3. Which IKE version 1 negotiation mode is faster? Aggressive mode is faster. Route-based IPsec VPNs. Types of IPsec VPNs. Route-based virtual interface for each VPN. VPN matching based on routing. Policy-based is a legacy IPsec VPN that is supported only for backward compatibility reasons, and its use is not recommended for new deployment. Unless otherwise is stated, all IPsec references are here for route-based IPsec VPNs only. Benefits of IPsec VPNs which are route-based. FortiGate automatically adds a virtual interface with the VPN name. Not only you can configure routing and firewall policies for IPsec traffic in the same way you do for non-IPsec traffic, but you also can leverage the presence of multiple connections to the same destination to achieve redundancy. So it's much simpler configuration and operation. Another benefit of route-based VPN is that you can deploy variations of IPsec VPNs, such as L2TP is layer 2 tunnel protocol, L2TP over IPsec. L2TP is a protocol which is used by Internet Service Providers, ISPs, to enable VPNs, Virtual Private Networks. GRE over IPsec is another type which could be enabled by route-based VPN, and GRE is encapsulation protocol and it cannot encrypt the traffic. GRE tunnels work well when we need to tunnel multiple protocols or a multicast. And for IPsec VPNs, we can use not only L2TP over IPsec or GRE over IPsec, we can also enable dynamic routing protocols for scalability purposes and for the best path selection. Routes for IPsec VPNs. So here we will talk only about use of static routes, but we can also enable dynamic routing protocols for IPsec VPNs. The routing configuration needed for your IPsec VPN depends on the type of remote gateway configured. When you set the remote gateway to dial-up user and enable add route, FortiGate automatically adds a static route for the local network presented by the remote peer during the phase 2 negotiation. In addition, the route is added to the routing table only after phase 2 is up. If phase 2 goes down, static route is removed from the routing table. Default route distance is 15. When you set the remote gateway to dial-up user and disable add route, then FortiGate does not add static routes automatically. In this case, a dynamic routing protocol is used between the remote peers to exchange routing information. By default, add route is enabled. We can enable or disable add route using command line interface by typing commands config VPN IPsec phase1 underscore interface edit dial-up set add the dash route enable or disable, then next, then end. When the remote gateway is set to static IP address or dynamic DNS, you must configure static routes. When you configure a static route, you select the virtual interface of the IPsec tunnel as the outgoing interface. Firewall policies for IPsec VPNs. At least one firewall policy is needed for tunnel to come up. When you configure firewall policies for non-IPsec VPN traffic, the policy determines the direction of the traffic that initiates the sessions. The same applies to IPsec traffic. For this reason, you usually want to configure at least two firewall policies for your IPsec VPNs. One firewall policy is for incoming traffic, incoming policy 1, and one policy for outgoing traffic, one outgoing policy. Policy and objects. Then firewall policy. We go and use this path in graphical user interface. There we can see traffic to remote, incoming interface, for example, port 3, outgoing interface matches the name to remote. And if we go to policy and object, firewall policy, we can see another policy for traffic from remote. First was traffic to remote, and one traffic from remote is incoming policy. Incoming interface to remote, outgoing interface port 3. Allow and inspect the traffic coming from or going to the IPsec virtual interface. The incoming policy allows traffic initiated from the remote side, while the outgoing policy allows traffic to be initiated from the local network. Note that the policies are configured with the virtual tunnel interface or phase 1 name as the incoming or outgoing interface. Question: which IPsec VPN type is legacy and not recommended for new deployments? Answer is policy-based IPsec VPN. Question 2. What is the configuration requirement for an IPsec tunnel to come up? Answer: a firewall policy accepting traffic on the IPsec tunnel. Thank you.